You've built a six-figure business.
I said, look at all this shit here. Like, we can do so much better than this. And people are like, oh, it's oversaturated, it's oversaturated.
But people that don't know, that's £35,000 a month.
Yeah, we really want guests to feel like when they come into one of our properties, they're in a home.
Yeah.
The portfolio, we've grown it to about 17 properties now and made some fantastic relationships along the way.
Welcome back to another video. We're back down in Birmingham, visiting the king of rent-to-rent, Jacob Shaw. He's shown us around a few of his rent-to-rent portfolio and some of his management projects. He's going to tell us why he got involved in property, why he chose the rent-to-rent strategy and the figures involved. So let's go meet him. Yes, Jacob.
What's happening, bro? Good.
Man? How are you?
Yeah, I'm all good.
So this is Jacob. We know each other through the Fontaines network, known as the Dealers Club. That's actually how we met originally, wasn't it? At a networking event with the boys, isn't it?
Yeah.
So yeah, if you want to tell the people who you are, what it is you do.
Yeah, my name's Jacob Shaw. Like I said, I've been part of the Dealers Club for the last 18 months. I've had a rent to SA or an SA business for about 18 months now. Originally started off as sort of vanilla standard buy-to-let investors, and then branched out into the SA strategy because of our love for sort of interior design and hosting. So yeah, for the last 18 months, last 15 months, we've been growing our SA portfolio. We've grown it to about 17 properties now and made some fantastic relationships along the way. So yeah, this is one of the units. But look, this is what I mean when we got into SA. I said to my sister, I said, fucking hell. I said, look at all this shit here. Like, we can do so much better than this. And people are like, oh, it's oversaturated, it's oversaturated. Yeah, it's oversaturated because you're just taking properties. You're not adding anything to the walls. Like, you walk in something like this and it's, you just feel, it gives you that, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, you and your sister were saying, like, the biggest thing is making it feel
like a home,
innit? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, because our SA business, our management business and our SA business is called Sophie's Homes. Obviously, our asset holding business is called Shaw and T&E, but we try to make it so like you're staying in one of our homes. Try and give it that sort of homely feeling, because that's why people come back and they leave good reviews, and then they leave good reviews, and then your business improves. So it's all. I mean, there's method to the madness. Like,
how many 5 stars you want? Because I know you're on it.
We've got 4.88 stars out of 1,000 reviews.
That's mad, mate.
Yeah, 1,000 reviews.
So do you put like a massive emphasis on customer service then?
Yeah, we put I think with Airbnb you have to, because the higher your ratings, the better you get treated by Airbnb.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I think if you're above, don't quote me on this, 4.6 star, your property will come to the first 2 pages.
Yeah.
It's like if you were going to book a property, you wouldn't scroll down to page 7, would you? You just go on like, oh, this is the first and second page, or this one. By the time you get to the 3rd or 4th page, you start to get bored. So what Airbnb do is the highest reviews, they give them hosts sort of first, grant them first sort of access to people who book. So, and that's the way it should be. The better your reviews, the better your business should do. So massive emphasis on providing good accommodation to keep the reviews high, so our business can flourish, and then all that oversaturated stuff doesn't really matter.
So you mentioned earlier scaling to 17 properties in 13 months.
Yeah.
Now that's mad. That is, I mean, we were saying earlier when we first met, you had just sold 2 deals. Everyone was gassing the group chat. Fast forward now, you've got a massive portfolio, and you're doing how much in revenue a month?
It varies, so it'll bounce from sort of 20 to 32, 33, up to 35 has been our best month, but that's including our buy-to-lets. But yeah, on average, between 25 and 30. Like I say, it's a little bit seasonal. It might drop down a little bit in January.
That's 35k, yeah?
Yeah, 35.
For people that don't know, that's £35,000 a month.
Yeah, 35k a month, and then... Profits, we normally keep, some units we keep 50%, but we normally keep about 30%. So it works out anywhere between sort of 8 to 10, and we've gone up to 12 once with our buy-to-lets.
That's mad.
So yeah, it fluctuates up and down depending on the season and that. It's hard to say exactly what it is, but yeah, they're rough figures.
You've built a 6-figure business, do you know what I mean? What is it, what's like the one thing, the secret sauce that's helped you to go from where you was to where you are now?
I made a post about it on my Instagram the other day. 3 things: delayed gratification and compound effect. That's massive, because without that you can't scale. So rather than when your business sort of gains traction, rather than upgrading your lifestyle, buying a nice new watch or going on a fancy holiday, just every bit of profit that you get, put it back into the business. And what will happen then over months, that will just compound, and then you'll grow. And the more you grow, it feels like it doubles in speed every month. So that's huge. Delayed gratification. A lot of property entrepreneurs talk about it, especially in sort of the SA market. James Murphy's a good example. I think he has like 400 units or something like that.
Wow.
There's a team of us. My sister, like I said, me and my sister started the business. Once my parents realised that it was gaining traction, they jumped on board. So there's a team of us. So definitely, and we all bring different strengths and we bounce ideas off each other. So that's really helpful. And my brother-in-law's fantastic with the numbers. He's a maths teacher. So yeah, there's a couple of different ingredients that needs to be included for it to be a success. But teamwork and delayed gratification and compound effect is what's really served us, sort of thing.
So when me and you spoke earlier in the car, I know you said you took about 7 months out to just solely focus on the business.
Yeah.
Because of how quickly it was growing. Now, you mentioned to me earlier that you're going back to working full time while having this. Now, that's kind of opposite of what people do. A lot of people use their business to get themselves out of work. So what is the reason you're going back to working full time while still running this?
Like I said earlier, delayed gratification and compound effect. It's with this strategy, it's with deal sourcing. Obviously, you need time in the business. You need to be on the phone ringing. Nobody's going to ring you up and offer you deals. But with the rent to SA stuff, after the property is set up, obviously, like you might get an influx of sort of maintenance calls one day, or you have to go out one evening. But apart from that, you're not really working in the business. You employ cleaners, so there's a lot of spare time. So rather than not do anything and take money out of the business when you can be reinvesting that money, it's better to be in a job and, like I said, just allow the business to keep growing and growing and growing. Because if you can practice that for 3 years, like say going back to compound effect, rather than me taking a wage every month out of the business, working and letting that business pot grow and grow and grow, it's just going to spiral. Yeah, so obviously in 2 or 3 years time, then that's when you see the benefits.
You're very, very, very passionate about growing the business, isn't it? Like what drives you? Like what is it? Because a lot of people say it's the money and leaving the job, but for you, it ain't that. So what is it that's driving you to do what you do?
Personally, I just think it's like obviously like with yourselves, with the way you work on it, and when you're fighting days, it's just. You need something to channel your energy into. Yeah. I think men are happiest when they're growing something, they're building something, and yeah, I think it's just that family feeling and being able to think that one day you can leave a good life, and I just think it taps into your masculinity a little bit, sort of thing. Like, do you know what I mean? So it's that, and I just think it's building for the future and everything that comes with that in terms of having more time, freedom, and more more time to yourself, I suppose, which we're all after.
You're talking a lot about reinvesting, growing a business. So what's the goal for you? Where do you see your business going in the next year, maybe 5 years? Where is things going for you?
Yeah, I think with the sort of the rent to SA side stuff, it's just keep doing what we're doing, practicing sort of the delayed gratification and just keep compounding the business. So looking to take on at least sort of one rent to SA property every month. And then we are within our sort of buy-to-let and holding business, we've got a couple of BRR projects lined up. So that would be great to sort of reinvest into our own assets, because for the last year we've been concentrating on the SA side of the business. Just keep going at the rate that we are with SA, and we want to grow our own portfolio this year, and a couple more holidays would be nice as well, because I haven't had a holiday really in the last 18 months, just with the business and just trying to grow it. So a couple more holidays, and yeah, just more health as well, I suppose.
So currently, looks like an absolute demolition project. So do you want to walk us through what's your thought process going into it? What's your plans for it? And yeah, just what you got up your sleeve, really.
Yeah, obviously, yeah, like you say, it's halfway through a job at the start of the job, like we do at the start, offload everything in, set the beds up first. Yeah, so we've gone for a lilac colour on the wall this time. It looks a bit patchy at the minute, but we think it'll complement the open size windows, the large windows. And obviously this exposed brick as well brings out the character of the building. So
yeah, that's a nice touch, to be fair.
Yeah, it's going to look really good when it's finished. Obviously with the plants and stuff, especially in the summer. Put some things out there for the guests, and it's not the best view in the world, but yeah, it's going to look really good. I'm excited about this one. We haven't had one this style before in terms of like the panel windows, the big windows.
Yeah.
I think that's what really sort of invited us to the property and gripped us, essentially.
So you mentioned you got this one from a sourcer.
Yeah.
Is this the first time you've used a sourcer? Do you normally source them yourselves?
We've got our business to a point now, which is, this is the first time that we use the sourcer. We've got the business to a point now where our SA business is running smoothly in the background. It's all systemized. We want to to outsource parts of the SA business so we can concentrate on things like raising investor finance, concentrate on scaling our buy-to-let portfolio, which we're doing now in January using bridging. So I think as you grow as a business, you can't do it all at once, can you? Do you know what I mean? It's like you have to think like, right, what can I do? What can I do on the business? What can I do within the business? What can I outsource? What's going to really matter long term? All of this process is part of learning. But yeah, there's certain things now, like with the marketing, obviously, I've spoke about before. It's time consuming.
Yeah.
It's very time consuming. So if a good deal that lands on my lap, we put a lot of the work in at the start because we really wanted to understand the strategy and we were passionate about it. And obviously we still are with the interior design and that. But there's certain elements of it now as we grow and we want to look to other strategies to build on our buy-to-let portfolio and raise finance and stuff like that, that there's certain things that need to be outsourced.
Yeah.
So as long as you've got a couple of good deal sources within your network, who you trust, again, it's all relationships, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's all relationships. We can look to outsource certain parts. But yeah, this room again, like this is the main daddy room in there. If you come in here, 4 of you, you're putting the 2 kids in there, the parents are gonna have this room because, like I say, you've got a nice view over Coventry there.
I mean, the thing is, the view's not amazing.
It's not amazing. Like, over there, it's okay.
Imagine waking up to this,
Yeah.
Got the sun coming over the skyscrapers and all that. It's nice, mate. You know
and like I say, it's got it's the natural light, isn't it? You've got the exposed brick again, and it just gives you a nice little feel. Obviously, it's patchy at the minute, and paint needs to be added. And
personally, I think you could slap this on Airbnb now. So how many bedrooms is this?
So it's 2 bedrooms. Obviously, like I say, it's a bomb site. You know, we've got the basis of the bed set up, but then we'll definitely look to put some colour on the walls. This is a bit abstract, but I don't know. Maybe we can do something with this to maybe put some wallpaper on it, or just try and get a bit creative with it. You know, I know obviously it is what it is. There's no natural light in here, or
I guess it's about making do with the space. Like
exactly, it's about what you do with the space and adding colours and how unusual can you make it look and add to the style and the character of the building, like I say, with the open brick and that. So it's just about how you use the space. But beds are set up. We'll add some colour, and I'm confident it's gonna look nice.
I know the one thing I've noticed about sort of the way you guys list your properties is the unique style of how you dress it. Like what is it that goes into that? Because you've got sort of like an industry standard where it's like solid colours and modern beds, but yours is quite like a vintage style. Like what is it that goes into that when you're thinking about how you're dressing a property, if that makes sense?
I suppose it's just the creativity, and I think our SA business and our management business is called Sophie's Homes, which is my sister, my business partner.
Yeah.
So obviously, the business is called Sophie's Homes. We really want guests to feel like when they come into one of our properties, they're in a home.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
we want them to feel like they're part of our family, and we want it to feel homely, and we really want to leave like a lasting impression on them.
Yeah.
So we just try and go that extra mile. And I think in terms of property in SA, our favourite part is obviously taking a property off a landlord, and then a month later saying, look, this is what your property was like before, now look what it looks like after, and just seeing like the shock on their face. So that's really nice, and then it just adds value from there. So yeah, we have like a pretty unique style. We add a colour that we like that complements the style of the building or the room, depending on how much natural light is in there. And then it's just about sort of, I've spoken about it before, we use charity shops, antique shops. Charity shops are fantastic. You'd be surprised what people throw away.
Yeah.
So we use a lot of charity shops, antique shops, Facebook Marketplace, and it's just going around and looking in charity shops and thinking, that looks quite unusual, that would look good, and obviously that's good for your ROI then because it keeps costs down. So yeah, it's just about adding the colour that you like and then building from there, trying to add some uniqueness sort of thing to it. Yeah, obviously this one is a little bit of a bomb site, but we'll go to one of the properties we have under management now, and then another rent to SA unit. So yeah, let's go and have a look.
Sick. So we're currently in Solihull in Birmingham, stood in one of Jacob's studio apartments. Now for Birmingham, it's quite a saturated market and studios are getting a bit of stigma, especially in Birmingham. Why is it you picked this and how is it performing?
Well, yeah, on performance, it's doing really well. I think it's at 95% occupancy all year round, regardless of the seasonality. This was actually leverage for others. It's through a portfolio landlord who we built the relationship up with. But I think in regards to saturation, I don't think Birmingham is oversaturated. I do think the SA market is saturated with a lot of mediocrity. I think as long as you're keeping your review base above 4.7 star, as long as you're being a responsive host, as long as you have that bit of extra attention to detail, as long as you're doing it properly, I think your properties are going to thrive in the market. You do need to stand out, but I think the term saturation is thrown out there a bit too much, if I'm honest. Like I say, you do have to be doing a good job. I think Airbnb, it's a market that's set to grow by about 11% a year until 2030. I was looking at figures, an article the other day. So as you can see, it's a growing market. So as long as you're doing a good job, you're keeping your review base high, so your listings are coming on the first 2 pages, extra attention to detail in terms of how well presented your properties are, and like I said, being responsive and taking a bit of extra care for your guests, then you're going to thrive and your business is going to do fine. So no, that's fine. I was just thinking about whether I should be. I'll just leave it then, shall I?
What was that just there? Because all of a sudden you've just stopped us by going, yo boys, I've got to sort something out. Like, what was it that just happened there?
Yes, a review that's just come in on Facebook, that's all. It's just about a guest complaining about one of the events and he felt the draft. So I was going to go in there and sort it out, but he's on a bit of a longer booking, so we'll touch base with him later just to go and make sure he's okay. But yeah, that can happen. Like, everything can seem kosher, and then all of a sudden on a weekend you'll get 4 or 5 calls within the same hour of different problems. So it almost feels like when it rains it pours, sort of thing.
Yeah.
You just have it all happen at once. Yeah, you just got to take it on the chin.
Yeah, so we're just going to go to one of our management properties now, because we do offer a management service for investors in Birmingham, which has sort of spun off the back of the SA business. So we'll just head there now, have a little look around, check in on it, and show you around.
So I know this property you've got is actually being managed for one of your investors that you dealt with. So what is it that you help investors with?
Yeah, there's an array of things really. Obviously, when we get contacted by investors, we book a discovery call and we just find out their situation better, try and find out if we're a good match for each other in terms of business, and just dive a little bit more into their sort of long-term goals. But yeah, the services that we offer fixed returns at certain percentages depending on how long you want to invest with us. We offer a management service. We don't actually offer a deal sourcing service, but we work with people like yourselves who we can refer to offer that service. So there's an array of things that we can help investors with.
So for anyone that's interested in following your journey or potentially investing with you or working with you on a unit they've got, what social media platforms are you on and where can they find you?
Yeah, we're Sean Tierney Property on Instagram. We also have our management business on there and our SA business, which is called Sophie's Homes. And I'm on LinkedIn at Jacob Shaw and Facebook at Jacob Shaw. Hopefully starting a YouTube channel as well soon.
So make sure you drop Jacob a follow, as the guy is absolutely killing it in the rent-to-rent scene. And remember, if you like this video, share it with your nan and your entire community so they can get as much value as you just got. Make sure you drop a subscribe and a comment as to what you want to see next.